we will continue with one question of the structure of atom, one type of question which I wanted to discuss. First we will do that and then we'll start the new chapter, periodic properties. Okay, so let us do with that question first. An element with mass number 81. It is book of your back exercise, question of your back exercise in the book, question number 42. Okay, an element with mass number 81. Okay, mass number is 81. Mass number means its atomic mass. Then also the meaning of mass number is proton plus neutron is equal to 81, because we know that mass number is equal to the sum of proton and neutron. So this is P plus N is 81. Then further condition is that element contains 31.7% more neutrons as compared to protons. Whatever is the number of proton, 31.7% more are neutrons. Okay, what you have to find in the question is assign the atomic symbol. That means you have to tell its atomic number, then only you can assign its atomic symbol. Okay, so according to the given condition, what we will see, let proton are X. Okay, because number of protons and neutrons not known to us, only one condition is known, that neutrons are 31.7% more than the protons. So if protons are X, then neutrons N are X plus 31.7% of X. This is the condition given. Means 31.7% more neutrons are there. So X plus this much percentage of X more. Okay, so it will be X plus 31.7 upon 100 X. Of X means multiplied by X. So it will be X is equal to 0.317x. Sorry, not equal to, X plus N is equal to X plus 0.317x. This is the value of neutrons. Okay, now we will do further. P plus N is equal to 81. Okay, so P plus N is 81. So P number we have assumed X, and we have just taken X plus 0.317x. That is equal to 81. Okay, now this is 1x, 2x and this much x. So it is 2.317x is equal to 81, and X is equal to 81 upon 2.317. Okay, so that comes to 35. Okay, so the element is capital X, Z and A. Z is atomic number, A is atomic mass. So its atomic number is X, because proton number indicates the number of atomic number. So X is 35, that means the atomic number of the particular element is 35. So it will be X 35 81. Okay, so that X 35 is chlorine. So this such type of questions, in this case they had given the neutrons are this much percentage more, some other thing can be given, but they will be solved following the same method. Okay, whatever condition is given, according to that you will use the relationship. Clear? So 2-3 such questions are there in the back exercise that you have to do. Now we come to the next chapter, classification of elements and periodicity in properties. Now for this chapter, the beginning part of the chapter has been eliminated this year, that is the history of periodic table. So that already you have done in class 10th also, so it's not so important. So in class 11th we will directly start from the modern periodic table. Okay, so for modern periodic table to start with, first we have to discuss about modern periodic law and how the periodic table is arranged. Now we all know from class 10 that modern periodic table is the classification of elements in the modern periodic table is based on atomic number, not on atomic mass. So this periodic table is based on atomic numbers, first important thing, and it follows a modern periodic law. Modern periodic law. And what this law says, that physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic numbers. This is a statement of modern periodic law, that physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic numbers. Now the meaning of this statement is that when we arrange the elements in periodic table in increasing order of their atomic numbers, then because we are calling it a periodic table, that means every property is repeated after a regular interval of time. Or you can say that the elements which are belonging to one group, they all are similar in their properties, not same, similar in their properties. Okay, now for understanding the periodic table, first we will have to give a look to the periodic table, and then we will study its various properties. I hope the table is visible to all. Is it visible? Periodic table? Anyone? Is the table visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible but not fully.
Okay, not fully. As much it is visible, it will help us to understand what we are actually trying to, because without it, it will not be clear. Okay, so when we have a look at the periodic table, we said that periodic table is arranged in the increasing order from left to right. Means when we move from left to right, then they are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic numbers. First thing is this: if we have a look at the periodic table, then we come to know that total 118 elements have been placed in the periodic table, and these are vertical rows. Okay, these are vertical rows, and these are known as groups. From top to bottom, these all are groups. That means if we start from here, so this is group number 1 and this is group number 18. So in all we have 18 groups from top to bottom. Okay, when we see from left to right, you can see numbers written here 7. So total number of periods in the periodic table, periods means horizontal columns. So horizontal columns are how many in the periodic table? 7. So we have 7 periods and 18 groups in the periodic table. These 6th and 7 is written here. These are actually the part of these 6th and 7th number of periods, but they have been placed separately because this periodic table is designed only to accommodate elements which have electron and last electron entering in S, D or P. If electron is entering in F subshell, then we have to place it separately down. That is why this is F block, okay, and F block is placed separately apart from the main periodic table, okay. So this is the main frame. Now we know that symbols have been assigned to various elements which are present, but what happened that initially the elements were getting discovered, so names were given, some were Latin names, some were the names after the name of scientist. But later on what happened, after 100, when new elements were again and again getting discovered, then there were certain elements which were discovered at the same time at two different places in the world. For example, if we come to 104 number of element, this one, okay, so it was given name Rutherfordium. At the same time, Russia, a Russian scientist also discovered it and he gave it some other name. So they wanted to keep the name given by them, and already Rutherfordium name was given to it by other scientists. So to avoid these conflicts between the scientists that who discovered it first, because they also reported that they had discovered it but they had not opened it up to the world, but they had already discovered it. So which name will be given? Finally they had assigned a IUPAC system of nomenclature for elements above 100, okay. Below 100 all were having the names as we have given them, but after 100 a IUPAC system of nomenclature was assigned, okay. So in that nomenclature system, what was there, that one is named as Un, okay. If one is there, it will be known as Un in that language, okay. So if one is there, Un, zero is there, Nil, and at the end of the name of the particular element, Em was added, IUM, Em. For example, if I have to write the name of element having atomic number 100, so it will be 100 is equal to Un, this is Nil, this is also Nil because it is 0. So Un, Nil, Nil and Em. So the name of element atomic number 100 is Un-nil-nilium, the name of it. So no controversy, 100 and after it all names will be given according to this. Now if 100, it is 100, so it is Un-nil-nilium. If it is 101, so it will be Un-nil, then again Un and Em. So its name will be Un-nil, Un-Em. So it will be Un-nil, Un-nil-anium. Okay. So Un-nil-anium is the name for 101 element. More. It is visible here.
Yes, ma'am.
103. Okay. Again it is Un, it is Nil, and it is sorry, 2 we have not discussed. 102. So it 2 is Bi. So it will be Un-nil Bi-yum. B-I-U-M. At the end I-U-M we have to add every time. So Un-nil Bi-yum, the name of 102 element. 103. Un-nil Tri-yum. 2 I we need not to write because in try 1 I is already coming and at the end IUM we have to add. So 2 time I we will not write. Un-nil Trium. 104. Un for 1, nil. 4 is quad. Un-nil quadium. Okay. 105. Un-nil pentium. 106. Un-nil hexium. Okay. 107. Un-nil heptium. 7 is heptium also, septium also, both is used. Okay, so unnil heptium or unnil septium. 108, so will be unnil octium. Hundred and 9, unnil, and 9 is N, En. Unnilanium. Unnilanium is 109, and 110 will be again 0 is nil, ium. Unnilium is 110. Again it will start the same, so only thing is that you have to remember, if it is 111 it is un 3 times and ium, so anium is 111. So like this, the naming for the elements which were beyond 100 atomic number were named in this manner. Okay, though some other names are also there for them, but you will use these names only if you have to report the name of any element above 100. Okay. Now again back to the periodic table. In the periodic table, when we will see, then I just told that we have 18 groups and 7 horizontal periods in the periodic table. The elements which are present in a group from top to bottom are similar in their properties. Okay, but the elements in a period are different from them. They don't have any similarity. Those which are present in one period from left to right, they don't have similarity in any of their properties. Top to bottom, they have many properties similar, but some properties are always different because each one is individually different. Okay, now the elements which are present in group number 1 and 2, these group 1 and 2, these two groups are known as S block. 1 and 2 are S block elements. Why they are called S block elements? Because the electron in these elements, the last electron enters the S subshell. For example, if I take example of sodium, Na. So Na is atomic number 11. It is 1s2, 2s2, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 electrons I have filled. Now it will go in 3s1. Okay, so the last electron is going in S. You can see. If I come to magnesium, so it is Mg is 12. So it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. So whether for this or for this, electron is going in S. So these two groups are S block groups, and all the elements belonging to this are known as S block elements. Okay. One more thing you can see which you need to remember is that whatever is the number of period written here, if you see the correlation between the period and the outermost shell, you will easily understand. Let me give you the configuration of hydrogen. Hydrogen is atomic number 1. Okay, so it is 1s1. Lithium is atomic number 3. Configuration is 1s2, 2s1. Clear? If I come to this, beryllium is 4. So it is 1s2, 2s2. Clear? Means the last electron in this whether lithium or beryllium, in both the elements the last electron is going in second number of shell, and because they belong to S, so the electron in both of them are entering in S subshell. So the period number which is written here indicates the shell, last shell in which the electron is going. So we need not to memorize or write the whole electronic configuration. If you remember this number of periods and the elements which are present, first elements at least, then you can easily recognize that the electron is going in which number of shell. You see to sodium, just now I had written sodium, the last electron is going in third shell and in the S subshell. So third period means these electrons will have these elements will have electrons in the third shell, and because it is in the S, so it will be in the third shell and S subshell. Fourth, I need not to write. Automatically, if potassium is here, so its outer configuration will be 4s1. I need not to write. If it is 4s1, so previous to it everything will be full. Okay. Before it every subshell and shells will be full. Then only the electron can go in 4s. If the previous all are full. Previous all means what? Before 4s, what should be filled? Before 4s, 1s should be full, 1s2, 2s2 should be full. Then after that 2p6 should be full, 3s2 should be full, 3p6 should be full. But 3d will not be filled because 3d is filled after 4s. So we have 4s1 and 3d is still blank. Clear? So this order we will have to remember that 3d will be filled after 4s is completely occupied. So the configuration of potassium automatically we can know is this, because fourth period, so 4s1, 4s2. Okay. Fifth period, rubidium. The configuration for rubidium is 5s1. Clear automatically, because previous to it all shells should be completely filled. This is 5s1, this will be 5s2. This is 6s1, this is 6s2. This is 7s1, this is 7s2. Like this we will always remember that in this particular period the period number indicates the outermost shell also. Clear? So now because in 11th you need to remember many elements in the periodic table. So I will suggest that at least this first and the last you always remember complete, and rest in between S block elements, P block elements you can memorize, and for D block elements at least this first row should be learned to everyone, and more than it if you can do it is always good. But these elements are never needed to do. These are also very rarely used, so these two are enough, and gradually if you memorize you can learn them very easily. Some other things also we will discuss about it, but later. First we just discuss that how they are placed in the periodic table. So clear? This is S block. Now we come, leaving this in between, we come to P block. From group number 13 to group number 18. 13 to 18 means this is group number 1, this is group number 2. From 3 to 12. Group number 3 to 12 we are not discussing. We are coming to group number 13 to 18. 13, this group, then coming last to 18. These elements are known as P block elements because again the last electron goes in the P subshell of the main shell. Whatever is the main shell, in P subshell it will go. You can see that in P subshell, if we talk in P subshell, we have 3 orbitals. Each can accommodate 2 electrons. So total number of electrons in 3 orbitals becomes 6. And you can see that in P block element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. We have 6 number of groups. The reason is that in boron if we see, then it will be P1. 1 electron will be there in P. In carbon, 2 electrons in P. Nitrogen, 3 electrons in P. 4 electrons, 5 electrons and 6 electrons will be present in P. Clear? Now, if you see again here, this is second number of period. Second period, lithium atomic number 3, beryllium atomic number 4. After beryllium comes boron, Li, Be, Ba, Ka, Na. Like this first letter, if you remember, you will be memorizing Ha, He, Li, Be, Ba, Ka, Na, O, F. So, boron is 5, carbon is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then from 10 we come back here, sodium 11, 12 and then again to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, argon. Then we come here 19, 20 and after 20 we have more elements in between. Before this we don't have any elements in the D because we know that D subshell starts from third number of shell. Okay, so what will happen? Because this is second period, so here also the second number of shell will be occupied. This we have to remember. So if you remember that lithium is belonging to second number of periods and lithium atomic number is 3, so Li, Be, Ba, Ka, Na, O, F, okay, and neon. So it will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. This is the second number of period. So if lithium and beryllium have configuration 2s1, beryllium is having 2s2. So this will be having 2p1. That means this is the second number of period complete. Will have electrons, last electron entering in second number of shell only. What is changing is subshell. So this will be 2p1, this will be 2p2, 2p3, 2p4, 2p5 and 2p6 completely filled. Aluminium, it is continuation after magnesium. 11, sodium 11, magnesium 12, aluminium 13. So it is sodium 11, magnesium 12, aluminium, okay, 13, continuation of that. Then what will happen? Because for sodium period number was third, so this was 3s1, so this is 3s2, this will be 3p1. So it will be very easy to remember their configurations if you remember that they belong to which period. And for that you need not to remember for all. You should remember that because in this case, see, it is second number of period. Second period has subshells. How a second shell has how many subshells? Only 2, 2s and 2p. It doesn't have 2d. So that means total number of electrons which can be accommodated in second number of shell are how many? 2s, 2 electrons, 2p, 6 electrons, total 8 electrons. That means in second number of period we can have only 8 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Clear? In third number of period, we again will have 8 elements. Why? Because in third number of shell if we talk, then though it have 3 subshells, 3s, 3p and 3d, but 3d is not filled, 4s is filled before. That means in talking about third number of shell, we will be filling how many? Electrons only, we will be filling electrons only in 3s and 3p. That is why in third number of shell we have 2 elements here, 3s1, 3s2 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements here to be filled as 3p1, 3p2, 3p3, 3p4, 3p5 and 3p6. Now from 4th onwards we will have more elements in between because of the entry or existence of 3d subshell. This is how the periodic table is designed. So once you understand that how they are placed and why there are only 8 in the first period, only 2 electrons, hydrogen and helium. Why? Because first number of shell has only one orbit, one subshell, that is s, and it can accommodate only how many electrons? 2. So 1s1, 1s2, 2 elements only. Second number of shell can have 2 subshells, so we have 8 electrons. Third number of shell can have 3 subshells, but only 2 will be filled first. That is why again we have 8. Now from 4th onwards, what is happening? Because 4th number of shell when is present, then filling will take place. How? 4s will be filled, 4p will be filled. This is 4s, 2 electrons, and this is 4p. In between we have 3rd to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. In between S and P we have slot for 10 electrons, and we know that D subshell has 5 orbitals. Each one can have 2 electrons. That means total electrons which can be filled are 10. That is why we have 10 elements in between, because this is the filling of D orbital. When elements are arranged, one electron increases every time. So that means how many electrons can be here? 10 electrons more can be filled. So we can have 10 elements in between S and P. Clear this thing? Are you getting what I am trying to explain? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, so you will never make it wrong if you realize that how the periodic table is actually designed. Why we started the entry of D block after 4th only. Now see, this much is explained. Now we come to 4th number of shell or 4th number of period. I told that when we talk about 4th, it is 4s1 for potassium, 4s2 for calcium. In between we have D block, and then we have gallium. For gallium, that means according to increasing order of energies, if we will see that if 4s is filled, after 4s 3d will be filled, because 3s 3p were already occupied in period number 3rd. After that 4s entered in between because of the energy order, and then we have to fill 3d, and when 3d is full, after 4s we will have 4p. Is it clear? So whenever we have electrons to be filled in S and P, the shell number for S and P always remains same. If it is 4th period, if here is 4s, here will always be 4p. If it is 5th period, these two are 5s1, 5s2. So P will here be 5p1 to 5p6. That means the number of shell is according to the number of period, and that shell is common for S and P. It will never be like this, that here it is 4s, so here it may fill in 5s. No, because of energy order also, and also because of the arrangement in the periodic table. But always remember that the number of D will always be 1 less than the main shell. Means if we have 4th period, we will have electrons in 4s and 4p, but this will be 3d. Number of D is always 1 less than the main shell. This is 5th. Okay. So this is 5s, this is 5s1, this is 5s2, this is 4d. This is 4d series. Clear? Now this is 4d series. After that again we will have 5th period. So this is 5p. 5p1 to 5p6. Clear? Now this is 6th period. 6th period, that means the electron in cesium will go in 6s1. Then for barium it is 6s2. Then here it will be 6p. What is the number of S is the number of P. But in between if we have D block, so it will be 1 less than the main shell. That means the D here is 5D. Where it is 6th period, the D will always be 5D. And when 5D comes, we know that first time the F subshell starts from where? F subshell starts from 4th number of shell. We know that 4th shell will have 4 subshells, 4s, 4p, 4d and 4f. 4 subshells. That means the first F subshell starts from fourth number of shell. It starts, but its filling does not take place with fourth period. Though fourth period is here, filling of 4s starts here, 4s is here, 4p is here, but filling of 4f is not taking place at this level. The filling of 4f will take place later when it will come in the energy order. So when does it come in the energy order? It comes in the energy order when we reach to period number 6. See here, when 6th period is there, so filling of 6s will take place, filling of 6p will take place, filling of 5d will take place, and filling of 4f will take place in 6th number of period. So always what will happen? The period number is indicating the number of S and P. Period number is 6, so S and P are also 6 and 6. But when period number is 6, the D is always 1 less and F is 1 less than D, or you can say the number of F subshell will always be 2 less than the main shell. Clear? Because it is 6S, so the F will be 4F. In 7th period is 7S1 and 7S2. P will also be 7P, but D will be 6D and F will be 5F. That means in 7th period the electrons which will be going in F will be going in 5F. And when we come to 7, we know that all electrons are filled, because 118 element is present in this period only. That means your electrons are finished, means all elements have completed their electronic configuration by the filling of 7s, 7p, 6d and 5f. We don't require any subshell beyond 5f for the filling of all electrons of 118 elements. Now, what about this? This is actually lanthanide series and actinide series, where the filling of F electrons takes place. Okay, so from here you will see lanthanum is here, actinium is here. These S are filled, 6S is filled, 6S1, 6S2. Then the filling of this 6S is filled, 6S2 is filled, then filling of 4F according to the energy order will take place, and this F is not placed here because this is for D. That is why we have placed this separately down. Okay, so this is because it follows lanthanum. That is why this is called lanthanoid series. Because this follows actinium, hence it is known as actinoid series. Clear? So then when 4F is full, then electron goes in 5D. According to energy order you can calculate. So it will come in 5D and then electrons are filled in 5D and then electrons will be filled in 6P again. So 6S, 4F. 6S is full, then 4F will be full, then again it will come to 5D and then again it will come to 6P. According to increasing orders. 7, 7S, 1, 7S2. Then filling of 5F will take place. 5F is full, then filling of 6D will take place. When 6D is full, then filling of again 7P will take place in the increasing orders. Clear?